just back to just a little this way.
Okay. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the beginning of the Valentine's Day celebration. All the people concerned are here. We counted the noses, and we're going to hear a little speech of some sort.
No, we're not going to hear speech. You're going to tell us
We're gonna
about
talk.
some things. Okay. That's why I don't want you looking at the TV. I want you to just talk.
Well, I have to look at TV. I'm looking at this camera.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to...
And I'm looking this way. I'm looking at to the TV. Over here, I'm looking at the camera.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, all right, now.
You don't want my shoes in there.
Well, we can...
Those are good shoes.
Yeah, we can go anywhere. All right, look, it's...
It should work.
It's, what is it, February the 15th?
No, I don't know. It's 15.
Well, it is the 15th, 1988. And we were talking, and you were telling me about...
Papa was living with a family that had kids in school, and he paid them for a week's stay, for his food, place to stay. He also paid him for feeding his horse, because he rode a horse. When he went home, he'd ride the horse home. And so...
This was near Palestine, or...?
This is,
Now, where, see,
I'm going to say it's near, probably near Elkhart. I don't know the exact place. So Papa was living at this one place, had lived there some time, and the kids were very rude at school to him because they knew him, they ate dinner with him, supper with him, etc. And he couldn't control them. So he told the fellow and his wife that their children were very rowdy, and he was having trouble trying to control them. And the guy said, "Oh, you're just partial to my kids. You're taking advantage of them." So the Papa tried to explain to him. Well, one thing led to another. Finally, Papa says, "I will move." He paid him what he owed for the rent, the horse, and so forth, and found another place to live. And where the new place he lived, he had about probably a mile and a half, 2 miles to get to school. So some of his friends come and told him, said, "John," he said he's going to kill you. Said, "You better talk to the sheriff, get yourself some protection." So at first Papa didn't think much about it, and so he did, and went down and told the sheriff. So they gave him a permit to carry a gun. He carried a shoulder holster, 45, to school. One morning he's going to school, he's walking. Well, just walking down the road. Who steps out in front of him and around the bush over here? This fellow steps out in front of him. He's got a knife about so long. And he first sits there and cussed him, everything you think of. And he's just about said everything good. Papa said, "You're making a big mistake. You're making a big mistake. I wouldn't do it." And when he started toward Papa, he said, "I'm going to kill you." Papa was sure he got his 45. Shot him. Right in the middle of the road. He looked around, there's nobody else around. Up on a little hill up here, just a little knoll up there, a guy was saddling up to his team to plow. Papa knew him, who he was. So, since nobody's here, he didn't want to, anything disturbed. He hightailed it up to the hill up there and told the guy up there that, "I just killed a guy, why don't you come down here and take a look?" And so he came down on the team, took the team, and Papa rode one, he rode the other, and they rode the team down there where it was. He's still in the middle of the road, nothing disturbed, he's dead or no. So Papa said, "Well, I'll tell you." He said, "I think probably if you'll stay here with this body, I'll go in and tell the sheriff, turn the gun in, on what I did." He did. He went and told the sheriff came out there, rode his horse out, and the guy stayed there till they come out and picked him up, and the sheriff was satisfied. So they fined Papa $1. Said, "We got to clear their books." And Papa had to pay $1. So
let me go back. I want to ask you something else. Tell me about the Grays.
Who?
The Grays.
Gray, the
Flora Gray and
Oh, Flora Gray?
Grandmother Gray.
Well, Mama was the oldest child. Mama's Flora.
Mm-hmm.
She was the oldest child. Her Gray family. They were
Now what her?
the oldest child in her family. Papa was the oldest child in his family.
Mm-hmm.
He was two boys in Mama's family. One at the top and one at the bottom. There were two boys in Mother's family. They were at both the middle. Mother was the oldest child. So Mother and Daddy went down and got Mama and took a ride in the wagon, and they had a buggy. That's where they went. And they got married, and they went to Galveston on the honeymoon. They were in Galveston 1 week before the Galveston flood. 1 week before on the honeymoon. And they were fortunate they weren't there. A lot of thousands of people drowned, everything in the flood. Papa was, at the time, I think he was teaching school.
Now when were they married?
About 1900, 1898, and then 1990.
Okay, around.
Gilbert was born in 1902.
Okay.
Gilbert was born in East Texas. And Papa was teaching school and had a gin, cotton gin.
Okay.
And after that, Papa thought the mother, he sold the gin. He thought it'd be better that they move out of this area where.
Now wait, was he married then? Well,
he and Mother married, right?
were they?
And Gilbert was either a baby or about to be born or something about that time. And he was born, and they got in the wagon, sold the gin, quit teaching school, and he and Mother started a wagon. They rode a wagon all the way out to west of San Angelo. Gilbert was a baby then. And Papa just didn't know where it's going, but he was going to find a job somewhere else. He got out there and he went to work in a store initially. And some of the salesmen that came through knew Papa. And when they came down through Eden, Deputy Malloy, who owned the big store down there, he and Ellen McLean were partners. You know, this guy, they said, told they were looking for a manager to run the store for him. And he said, well, I'll tell you about a guy that's out at, I don't know the name of the town. I didn't know. It's west San Angelo. And they told him about Papa, so they sent word to Papa to come down. I want to talk to him. So he came down there. And they hired him to manage the store. And Papa did run the store. They weren't in the store at all. And he just got a salary. I think it paid him $25 a month or something. I know then they could buy a piece of steak for a nickel or a quarter, and two people, that all two people could eat. So it was cheap.
Yeah.
So Papa would do his work and go home, and so he finally expanded the store into ladies ready to wear. He didn't do that before. It wasn't before that. He did have groceries and a little store with a lot of stuff in it. Farm stuff, shoes, pants, blue jeans, and this, that, and the other. So Papa brought in the ladies' part, ladies ready to wear. We've done lots of business. As I grew up, Al Pearl grew up, Gilbert grew up, we all worked in the store on Saturdays. Went to school during the week. And Gilbert finished high school as a salutatorian. He was not the valedictorian, the salutatorian. And could have been valedictorian, I'm not sure. So he went to TCU, go to school. He was on the golf team, by the way. He would show you how good he was, Papa had given him a 21 jewel, a watch for graduating high school. And he put that watch down with a little dough on top, put a ball on top of it, tee off with his golf ball. And never hit the watch, never broke it. But he had more guts than I did. You know, I was a pretty good golf player, but I didn't use a good watch for that. So,
Yeah,
he was in school 4 years, and about the last year, I guess he was in school, Al Pearl went to TCU also. And Al Pearl was born 1907. Joe was born in 1902, so he was 5 years older than she was. So he was probably out of school before she went, but she went the next year probably. Al Pearl excelled in the piano, played all kinds of classical stuff. She took it all her life, really. And she got through school, no problem. And see, I was born in 1909, 2 years difference. So the last 2 years that she's in TCU, I'm in Texas A&M, as a freshman, sophomore. And this is their growing up. When Papa came to Eden, he was on the school board. 20 years on the school board. He's president of the school board. And he run the school. He hired the teachers. He fired them if they weren't good. He told the principal what he's supposed to do. And he made the principal run the school. But if things questionable come up, Papa had him report to him, or he called him in on another. And I know one time he fired the principal outright right where he was. Somebody did. So, but generally speaking, the principal of the school worked in the store on Saturdays. Extra money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
what's the first thing you remember about Eden?
well, the first thing would be when, I guess when Carl was born.
What do you remember about that?
Well, we had a little baby at home.
Mm-hmm.
He turned it off. He turned the camera off, right?
I turned off the TV. I didn't turn off the camera.
When Carl was born by the preacher, Baptist preacher lived next door, his son was about Gilbert's age. And he says, I heard you got a baby at your house. I said, yes, we do. He said, what kind is it? What is it, a boy or girl? He said, I don't know, we haven't looked yet. And he was instrumental in many of my fights. I had lots of fights when I was about the 4th, 5th, 6th grade. I was scrapping every day. We were going home from school, going back and forth. We would, a kid named Ed Carter lived out past further down, and Ed, he was a little older than I was, but we were about the same size. But for entertainment, the larger boys liked to get us scrapping. And one way or another, next thing you know, we probably got some good voice in there. Anyway, but we scrapped back and forth with baseball and everything, usual things. And that was the first home we lived in.
You had two homes in Eden, right?
Yeah, we had actually the farm.
Was the first one the farm outside of town?
No, we lived in town.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I lived, and I burnt the barn down.
You burned the barn down?
I burnt the barn. When I was 5 years old, I went out and decided that I'd go out the barn and clean up the hay that's on the ground. Took a rake and raked it all up a pile, set it afire. Wind whipped in, had a live hog or dead hog hanging up in there, been killed, saddles, harness. The whole thing got on fire, and it turned out school about a mile up on the hill up there, and everybody in school came down to look at the fire. Couldn't put it out, you know. It's hay and burning.
Yeah.
hell of a blaze, and everybody's asking me, what'd you burn the barn up for? I said, I was cleaning up. Papa said, that's all right. He was cleaning up. My dad never said a word to me about it. They asked me, what'd your daddy do? I said, no, he did nothing. They thought I would get spanking. So he took up on me, and we burned up the harness we had for several horses. Horse got out, of course.
How many horses did you have?
Oh, we had different numbers. Sometimes we had 2, sometimes 3 or 4. Took them out on debts and various kind of things. We had one that pulled the liver wagon. We had a liver wagon with cupboards up. Gilbert got in one day, and well, Alf Pearl, I got in there. Well, Gilbert was watering my horse. And he broke loose from Gilbert, went around. About the 3rd time we went around, right turned over on top of us. And then he drug it off of us. And we weren't hurt. You know, funny thing. We got bruised up a little.
How old were you then? You must
about 5, 6. And
my granddaddy was he was a merchant.
yeah.
What?
We bought the old Deputy Malloy building, about 150, probably 150 feet, about 200 feet size. Initially we had a drugstore, a grocery store, and ready to wear. And ready to wear was shoes and clothing and so forth. It was as big as the grocery store and the drugstore together. So it became quite a chore. We sold the drugstore, and we kept the grocery store a long time. We separated from the other store by partition, but Dad still owned it. And I used to go in there and sack beans and potatoes and stuff.
Now, he kept the ready-to-wear or the grocery store?
Kept all of it. We owned it all. And so we later sold the grocery out, got rid of it. And then we had the ready-to-wear a long time. The shoes, we had everything. We had rows of boots and shoes, 18, 20 rows high, and damn near as long as the building. And Papa would go to market. Papa would go to St. Louis to market.
Is that where market was?
A lot of times St. Louis, sometimes they'd go to Dallas. And I bought the ties when I got to be about 14 or 15. I would select all the ties. And Mother bought the ladies' dresses. She'd go to San Antonio or somewhere and buy the latest stuff. And she might take me along with her just to be with her. And that's the way it worked. Papa charged stuff. Fellow come in and started to charge the account and run it all year. He sells his cotton to pay the bill. And of course, we didn't collect everything. We had lost lots of bills. And it was quite a number of years before we went on a cash basis. I grew up, I played lots of basketball, baseball, track, football, played everything else too. And our football team, my senior year in high school, I was in the graduating class 2 years. I was supposed to graduate at 16, and was salutatorian. And Mama said, you're maybe better off to wait one more year before you go to college. She said, drop your English course and you'll still be able to do what you want to do. And I did. I dropped my English course. The teacher tried to pass me. And if I just go on the stage, get my diploma. And English was the only course I could drop in the algebra.
That's what happened.
I had 24 high school credits when I graduated high school. And I was salutatorian again the next year. On our football team, we had 11 boys. We had 12 of us. One weighed 112, the rest of us averaged 165. That was a football team. And he subbed to anybody that fell out. Wherever they played, that's where he played. And you know, you take a guy at the first half, you couldn't put him back in for the next half. And you played offensive and you played defense. You played everything. I was a fullback. I kicked all the field goals, stuff like that. Did some of the passing. And we played Ballinger my senior year. Ballinger's a big town. You know Ballinger?
Yeah.
Well, Eden's 2,000 population there, less one probably. Ballinger had about 25 or 30,000. And they had a good football team. The guys up there knew they were good. So we had a game with Ballinger. As we left home, drove up in cars to play, everybody home was given $20 and betting 2 to 1 and we lost. Well, they had a kid named Nick McCarver playing quarterback. He later became all Southwest Conference at Howard Payne College. Well, Nick was backfield, and I was defensive full. I'm backing up. We beat them 14 to nothing. You wouldn't believe it. And those guys were crying like babies over there. Earl Rutter was playing tackle. And he boo, said, I didn't do my part. And he cried like a baby. I never forget that. They weighed about, I guess Earl must have weighed 200 pounds then, fat and fluffy. And we had a lot of fun.
Well, Earl was at Eaton now.
Huh?
He was for Eaton. Where was Earl Rutter playing for?
Eden.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he was one of our 12 players.
Yeah.
And we played Rochelle. Rochelle's a little bit bigger than Eden at the time, and we beat their butt. They had some rough and tumble. Man, the guy tackled me, and my arms to the side, and my face would peel like onion. You don't play on gravel. We didn't have grass to play on. It's where the field was, and with grassy spots and gravel spots and everything else you played in. So we played towns like Melbourne, Rochelle.
When did things start getting bad in Eden? Now, I know that Carl never got to college.
Well, nothing's bad. Papa, Mama told Carl had a bad heart.
Mm-hmm.
And his year before he would graduate, he'd had him to about half dozen doctors. Finally went into Dr. Morberry in San Angelo. Dr. Morberry examined, said, well, he had a murmur in his heart. Doctor says, Carl, I don't know whether I can help you or not, but says, I'm going to give it a try. Said, just want you to do what I tell you to do. Said, the first thing you can do is go home, go to bed, and you're going to stay in bed for 3 months. You can get out and go to the bathroom. That's all. Don't drive a car, don't do nothing.
Now, how old was Carl then?
He's about 15, thereabouts. So, Mama got him some loud pajamas, a radio, and all he did was radio, and they brought him some books down to school, what they were teaching in school, and after this went him 6 months, he went back to see the doctor. The doctor said, you're doing fine. Gave him medicine to take and so forth, and said, see me another 3 months. So after 6 months gone thereabouts, he told Carl, you can go to school for 3 or 4 hours, no more, as long as you ride to school and ride home. So Papa gave him a car. He'd ride to school, ride back. He'd go down in the morning, and you about 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, be back home again, back in bed again. So, come his senior year, mind you, he'd already been practically a year in bed. So, doctor told him, said, you can go to school 4 hours a day and come back home. See him in 3 months. So, can you got it?
I'll get it, honey.
So, he went to school in the morning. The teachers managed his classes so he can take the 4 hours he needs to graduate. And he finished out the year, just like that. After that, he went back to see Dr. Moore. He says, Carl, he says, you can walk around, do normal things. Don't run. Don't do this, don't do that. And in general, don't do any work, but you can lift little things and what comes about and so forth. And come back in 6 months. So we moved back in 6 months. So he said, Carl, you're all right. Anything other than real hard labor, do what you want to do, go about your business. He said, you have no problem with your heart. So now Mama and Papa told Carl, thing about AM, they haze you down there. And when I was schooling down the hazing, man, they beat the shit out of you. Got a baseball bat split down the middle and take it just as hard as they can hit you. 3 or 4 times. If they hit, we had some kids that hit too high, hit the top bone.
Yeah.
One kid paralyzed from other things. He had lots of trouble in school. So then he would let anybody catch haze and get kicked out and so forth. That just puts the squeeze on it. Still some haze went on anyway. So Papa said if you don't go to school, he said, I'm just afraid to kill you. He said, I'll put you to work, I'll put you in business, and we and I will go in business together and we'll get you started. You'll be just as well off and you'll still be living. So Carl said, all right. So kind of agreed not to go to college on account of the hazing, so Papa put he and Carl and she finished together.
How'd you happen to go to A&M?
Well, Mother said she wanted me to be an engineer, a textile engineer. Well, I didn't know what a textile engineer was when she first told me. In 8th or 9th grade, and she wanted Gilbert to be a salesman or something. She had a goal picked out for us, and we just never deviated. I went to A&M and I took textile engineering without knowing what the hell I was learning at the time, you know. And so I went down there to take, our school was not affiliated. So I had to take entrance exams to take A&M. I had to go down there 2 weeks or something before school started and take exams. One of the exams was in judging livestock.
That was
Believe it or not, this is
the entrance exam.
Yeah. Yeah, they took me out, one of the professors out there, and see, I was on the livestock team at Eden. I went to Fat Stock Show judging beef, and I knew a little about it. I knew what was loin and what was this, that, and the other, and where to pick out the good spots and so forth to get a good square cow and so forth. Anyway, he took me out there and showed me a bull. The funny thing was, he says, this is the grand champion of the Fat Stock Show this year, so why don't you tell me something good about him? I couldn't have said nothing bad. I had a cinch. If I could just point out some places where he was good, you know, I would have it made. I was there about 15 minutes, and he said, yeah, you're terrific, you're through. And I got a credit for it. I don't know, I took math, I took algebra, and English. Never was good in English. But I took the exams they gave me, and I got myself 16 credits, examinations, and I was accepted. And I tell you, they weren't easy. You know, entrance exams are not easy. I don't know what they were then, they were tough then. And the kids that went to the entrance exams today, I'm sure would be the same situation. Because you didn't have any written Bible and nobody helps you. My roommates were George Holloway, Sam Montgomery, and who was the other? Oh, Bill, can't think of his last name. Anyway, two boys from San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
And
what was A&M like then? What was it like to go to school there? It was a military school.
Yeah, all military. Unless you were crippled and you couldn't get in. Nothing wrong with school, beautiful. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was in the military all the way through, 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
You played golf?
yeah, played with the bull,
Who?
colonel. The full military colonel was down there at the head of all the military. And I beat his ass and he didn't like it. He ground his club in the sand trap. And I said, you can't do that. He said, oh, this is no more sand trap matters than grass green. I said, the rules are that the sand trap, you play the sand trap. And we were on the 5th hole. We played one more hole, took us back to the clubhouse. And again was the hole. See, I had a match. And the bull and the pro came out and said, we want to play y'all. And I said, I got a match. Well, you can play at the same time. Well, I'm playing against him, and he and I are partners against him, the pro and the bull. The bull shot good golf. He shoot 36 many times. And I said, okay. Well, we played 5 holes. That's where he ground his club. In the 6th hole, we won it. We're all even with them. And they got up and just walked in and left us. Didn't say boo, nothing. And when I got through playing, I won the match. Went back in to talk to Pro, Gaither Howell. He's a good friend of mine. And I said, you people are not very courteous. You walk off and don't even say nothing. And he said, you know what the bull said about you? I said, I don't give a damn. He said, you know, I never would have thought he would have said anything like that. I said, well, he found out I would, didn't he? We're playing a quarter hole. You know, I'm in school. 2 bits for a hole is not chicken feed. So, anyway, ever since then, see, at that time, I was a Corps Sergeant Major. I was highest ranking junior on the campus. With 6 stripes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the sergeant that walks down behind the cadet colonel and head of the supper formation, the dinner formation, the parade and everything else. And we went to summer camp and I took the gunner's exam. I made a 97. And that night, you know, after you've been all day in the military, you put knickers on or something to hang around the grass, sit down and fresh air for a while. We all sit down in the grass. And along comes Captain Harry. Well, before that, bull passed by. And out of all the boys, nobody's got a uniform on. The bull passed by. He called me over and said, I want you to go put a uniform on. I said, nobody else got a uniform. He said, I said, go put a uniform on. I went to put a uniform. Nobody else got a uniform. So after a little while, Captain Harry came by. Captain Harry was the full captain in the regular army. He taught bull techs, military science. So he said, you know, Bull told me, he said he didn't believe he made a 97. I said, what'd you tell him? You were there to give him the exam. I told him he made a 97. He said, I have him take it in the morning, I want to see it. He had me come out again the next morning, take the same examination, made another 97. He didn't say thank you, nothing, just walked off and left. But this time I didn't care until Captain Harris says, don't worry about it. I said, why should I worry? Make the highest grade in the class and then not worry? I said, 2 days, I think 2 days, the only one. And he hadn't got the courtesy to say thank you, did a good job or nothing. He just walked off and boom, when I finished the exam. And he said, don't let it bother you. Captain Harry, very nice guy. And so this is the summer camp before your senior year. When I got back to school, between summer camp and here, they made up their minds who's gonna do what this year. And they got me down as was gonna be a first lieutenant. First time in the history of the school that the Corps Sergeant Major was not at least a lieutenant colonel with 2 or 3 diamonds on his shoulder. So my roommate, Jack Allison, Jack lived in San Angelo. You know, I went to dances and this and that. Both of us belonged to the Ross Volunteers. We were selected in the junior year. In fact, so many juniors selected junior year to be in the Ross Volunteers. Your grades got to be B or better, average, and so forth. So every spring, Jack and I both buy a suit. We could wear this other one's clothes, everything except shoes. And he'd go on a weekend somewhere, he'd take my suit. If I'm on a weekend, I'd take his suit. Have 2 suits. And we've done this at least a couple of years, you know. And Jack's daddy had a 10,000-acre ranch in San Angelo, which he gave to Jack when he graduated Texas A&M.
Well, what happened to you didn't finish the story about the
Bull?
bull.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything to him because I wasn't picked out. I had no choice. I was just made it till I was my first lieutenant. And it was. So Jack was a sergeant, a battalion sergeant major, different. Sidney was the first sergeant his junior year.
Yeah.
Sidney Gold is now a doctor in Dallas, has been. And so I never had anything to say to the bull more, except we had a major at Boltex. When I'd go out and play golf weekend, the first thing Monday morning I ate Boltex at 8 o'clock in the morning. And the major would always call me there. You know when I've been gone all weekend. Just got back in time to change clothes and go to class. Didn't seem to study or nothing. And invariably he'd say, well, Johnny, old boy, I said, what are you going to talk about today? I said, probability. He says, that's right, probabilities. Probably you didn't even study the course, study the class. Lesson. You can give me a 0. And this question. When you get a 0, you get one more question. You can average out 5th for the day. Some days you might not get a grade. So I knew I'd get another question. And I hadn't looked, I didn't know what it was about, and just got there, barely made it. So I got the other question right. It didn't have to do with this, it was some general type job. So I came out of B plus. Senior military science. Because my zeros and so forth didn't up, and it didn't make any difference to me anyway. I could leave school Wednesday night and never show up for Monday, and I miss an hour of class. I was that far ahead. So we'd go to Houston or Dallas or where we were going to play golf, and we'd leave Friday night, or Wednesday night, or Thursday morning, whatever. So anyway, see, I'm in Texas A&M 1926, 1927, 28, 29, 30. I finished with 30. And Papa was farming, going back to farming. We had about a section of land down there. Joined 2 farms together. And then we got some sheep. We had a lot of sheep down there. We probably had a couple of 3,000 head of sheep. And so one summer I came home from school, Carl and I did the farming. I would cultivate it, and he chopped the cotton. They called us the sundown farmers. We didn't go to work before sunup. We always went home before sundown. And we were driving about 4 or 5 miles out in the country where the farm was. So we had this hoopie that I'd one time before turned it over. Earl Rudder and I. Remember her?
I think, yeah, we met Earl Rudder.
Earl was president of Texas A&M. Later. Earl, I turned the thing over when he tore it all up, and it was a hoopie after that. And later, Papa decided he'd move the farm. He sold the store to Gilbert.
Mm-hmm. Now, when was it? When Gilbert out of college? then?
Gilbert was out of college, you know. He married Auden, a shoemaker.
Mm-hmm.
Auden got killed in a train wreck.
No, wait. I thought was a train wreck she got killed in?
Well, train run over a car that's passing the railroad track. Train hit the car and killed 6 of them.
Was she in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had gone to California to visit her mother and father. And Joanne was a baby, but the baby was back home with her grandmother. And she and
No, wait. You mean Joanne was?
Joanne was a baby.
Yeah, Joanne was a baby, but who was she with? She was with
Her grandmother.
grandmother. Okay.
Auden's mother. and
Oh,
father.
Audna's mother.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And she got killed. The train hit the car and killed Auden. So,
Gilbert took that pretty bad.
I know. Mrs. Shoemaker called Gilbert. And Gilbert talked to Papa. So Papa says, what do you want to do? And Gilbert said, well, I think I'll bury her in California. I'll bring the baby home. That was Joanne.
Now, was the accident in California?
Oh, yeah, Los Angeles.
Oh, I thought
They had
that.
moved from Fort Worth out to Los Angeles. He was a lawyer.
Who's he?
Auden's father.
Oh, okay.
And they had about, I guess it must have been 6 girls in the family, a whole bunch of them, girls.
Yeah.
So Papa went out there, Gilbert went out there, and Mother said, don't you come home without that baby. Mother was determined that she was going to get Joanne. So Gilbert went out there and he buried Auden at the little church around the corner. You heard of that?
No, I haven't. Was it in L.A.?
Yeah, in L.A. Little church around the corner. That's the name of it. At least that's what I was told. And so he got the baby and got on the train. Come home.
Mm-hmm.
Here he was having a hell of a time trying to quieten the baby down, change the diapers and this and that. And the Mexican woman down in the car with about 3 or 4 kids, she came up and says, let me take care of the baby. Well, he was too bad to do that. And she took care of Joanne all the way to El Paso. And she got off the train to El Paso. So then there on in, Gilbert had Joanne.
Now, how old was Joanne at the time? Okay.
And she didn't know anything about it. So Gilbert brought her home. And he was glad to get home with the baby. Mother could too glad to get the baby. So she was raised as more like a sister.
Yeah.
So Gilbert, he ran a cleaning place.
Well, did he have the store after that or before that?
After that. Before that, he had a cleaning, drying, cleaning pants, clothes, everything.
Yeah.
See, Auden had at least 3 operations before she was in California. One time they left a pair of scissors in her.
Okay.
They found it in the x-ray. But the doctor wouldn't give Gilbert the x-ray. He was going to sue him. They couldn't get the x-ray. Prove it. They operated the last time to get the scissors out. And she was a nervous wreck almost, and she just wanted a little bit of peace. And I told her this has been going on 6, 7 months. So after that, Joanne came back to Eden. Mother took care of Joanne and raised her. And later when Gilbert married, I guess she's, I don't know how long, 4 or 5 years, maybe a little more. Gilbert initially went to S&K Clothers or something, Zionsville. And he sold men's clothes. And later, that was before Auden died, I guess. I'm not sure. And I'm trying to think how many years it was before he married Louise. He married Louise before he went to San Angelo. And then When he came back home, he had a house over right close where, not far where Dyes lived. Dyes lived out there, lived over here, and Gilbert's over there. I know it's maybe about this time that he took over the store. Papa decided to let him have the store, just sold it from a credit or whatever you call it. He didn't have money. Papa paid for all the hospital bill in California. So he and Louise got married, and he then decided they wanted Joanne to live with them. I'm trying to think how old she was. She would know, probably. I don't remember. I'm going to say she's probably 7, 8 years old. I'm not sure. And if you ever get a chance, you can ask her. She knows. And she went to school, grew up like everybody else. Meantime, Gilbert was running the store. And he wasn't watching business too well. He was doing a little gambling on the side. And I went to gambling. I went over and came home from college one time, A&M, Texas A&M. He wasn't at the store. I asked Louise where he was, and said, down at the house. I went down to the house. He and 2 other guys were shooting dice, head on. I see shooting dice, $500 to $1,000 so.
That's a lot of money.
It was then. But money didn't bother Gilbert. He was never, he never wanted to worry about $500 whether it was $100. He should have had Gilbert one. I told Gilbert, I said, we got to cut this out and quit. It's some $700 a head. What's the word about it? I said, well, let's shut it off. The game's over. He said, who said so? I said so. I was college. And I said, you gentlemen just fold it and go home. They're brave. Gilbert didn't fight me on it. And they left. Gilbert and I went back to the store. And that was my first experience of him shooting dice.
What did you buy?
And
Nothing.
he didn't pay attention to business real good. And eventually we sold the...
Did he do a lot of gambling, as far as you know?
No, not a lot, but when the gambling. But what they were doing is leaving the store where your place of business was supposed to be. And you're taking the 3 guys that were down the house shooting dice on the table, rolling against the wall. So I put my foot down. I mean, what people like to do, and they respected my wish. I told him, I said, you got no business doing this. You know, I give you my own version. And of course he passed it off. And he tried to make some beer in his ice bar in his bathtub one time. He got the mash and everything going and finally got it bottled up. He got about 8 or 10 bottle in the closet. Had them there all, boom, 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 boom. Tops are all shooting off the beer, homebrew.
When did everybody move out to New Mexico?
Well, they moved out to New Mexico about, I think he's probably my senior year of college. Papa drove the sheep about 2,000 miles, you know, where they went. They drove about 2,000 head of sheep out to New Mexico.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Papa did. Carl didn't help much. He helped a little, but he had a Mexican that helped him. And Carl did some. They had to arrange ahead of time to drive the sheep across somebody's land. So they had to cut fences and fix fences and as they went along.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got out to West
That's
Texas,
all right, Joe. We love your behind. That's all right.
Got all about that.
Okay. So, anyway, go on. Anyway, they had
so
to.
Papa got out in way out west of San Angelo, further west than that.
Yeah.
In real tough, dry country out there. He found water out there, and so he left the sheep rest for about 2 weeks. Just hang around the water and eat grass, and so it wasn't too good. And so during the time, Papa left the Mexican out there with the sheep and made a visit back home and turned around and went back again. Then they drove the sheep on out to the ranch. Now the ranch in Roswell is 16 miles, I guess it's southwest of Roswell. You go by the air base,
Yeah,
on the way out, straight on out. And Papa had an adobe house, walls about this thick.
Mhm.
In the heat, hot summertime, it's cool.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, so anyway, initially they were still partners in sheep business and a little bit of farming, mostly sheep. And so one year Papa lost 600 ewes in the freeze. Just popped up and froze and just lost 600. At that time, ewes were worth about $35 a head. Another year he lost about equal number of lambs, froze and so forth. So after a couple of years, Papa decided that maybe we had to change our program a little bit. So Carl, let's see if we can find us a farm. They got a guy and looked around. They found one farm down at Hagerman, about 400 acres. And they found another farm about a couple hundred acres in another place. So Papa agreed to tell Carl, you take the 400 acres, and I'll take the other place. This time Papa's not able to do much, as far as hard work and so forth. He did quite a bit, but not too much. So Carl, Papa's more interested in getting Carl going. They got the tractors and everything to work the farm, and they had 2 big wells on the farm, if I remember correctly. They pumped a lot of water in them. You opened up the electric plug and shoved it in there, water come out about the stream like this. And they irrigated. And Carl did pretty well with the farm. Papa had a little bit of irrigation, not as much. A part of it couldn't irrigate for some reason. But the rest of it,
He was on the canal, as I recall.
yeah, Papa's almost on the, not too far from the river, Pecos River, actually.
I think they were taking the water out of the river, weren't they?
May have been.
I
don't
think I
know.
remember that.
I don't know.
Because I remember,
But anyway, I was visiting Carl when he was out to, when I moved from,
Well, let's go back to the ranch for a moment. I mean, what do you remember going out to the ranch?
oh yeah,
When did they must have gone out to the ranch, you said about your senior year?
I think it's about the year my senior year they moved out there. What do I remember?
What do you remember? I'm sure Carl remembers a lot about that.
Well, see, Carl, I had the first sheep in the family. I had Polly.
When was this?
Well, I had Polly about, Polly was a project of mine in agriculture, and I was about in the 8th, 9th grade.
Okay.
Polly had twins every year except the year she died.
Twins.
Mm.
You had the 2 lambs. And when they put her with all the sheep, she wouldn't stay with the sheep. You don't by herself everywhere. She went everywhere. And you go out there in the field and holler, Polly, Polly, bah, bah. She come around, give her a bite of sugar or something else, and then eat. And called Dolly. Called her Dolly. Dolly was Delano, a short wool sheep. Polly was Rambouillet, long wool. She showed about 14 and a half pounds of wool every year. Initially it was 50 cents a pound. So I paid $5 for her when she was just a lamb.
Mm-hmm.
So we got $7.50 worth of wool the first year. And she wasn't bred for about probably the third year, as well as I remember. We put her down at the farm with the sheep down there. And even then she wouldn't stead the sheep. She went where she wanted to go.
Charlie, come here.
But never would, she never got lost or nothing.
Yeah.
About this time we got a sheepdog. Sheepdog was a real sheepdog. I think they paid $200 or $300 for her, if I remember correctly. And that sheepdog would say, Dolly, turn to the right. Yep, 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 yep. You split them here. Yep, 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 yep. She'd come splitting. Then she'd get after them just like going to eat them up if they got in the wrong lane and so forth. Absolutely unbelievable. Well, the merchant herder tried to feed her a rabbit. He had one long whip. He'd pop a rabbit, catch him. He'd try to give him a rabbit. She wouldn't eat it. It's cooked. He got to sit down and build a fire and cook that rabbit for her to eat it. That's all she ate. And about a couple of years later, 3 years later, they got bred her, and she had 2 or 3 little pups, 3 pups, if I remember correctly. Cute as a bug. And she'd go under the horses with the pups. Horses raised up, and she'd got the pups. The dogs were going to get killed all the time, but they got them under the horses. They get her away from the horses. Never did get killed, expecting in the time. I came in one riding a horse in there, and horse stood up on the back feet, and here she is all underneath me. I knew I was going to kill a pup. And they come out alive, all right. But I don't know what happened to pups. Probably sold them or give them away or something. From there we went out and we shot cows, chasing sheep. I didn't do much shooting on when I was visiting out there. They were setting traps for coyotes, you know, put a bait in the hole.
Yeah.
And the side, as soon as he pulls on the side, it goes in his mouth, he's dead. And,
Well, all this time you were still working as a textile engineer?
hadn't started to work yet.
Well, you had to, because you got out of college when they had the ranch.
Well, in back and forth visit, about 300 miles. I used to drive, leave a Saturday night and drive like hell all night, and get home, sleep about 4 or 5 hours, and get up and maybe go to a football game or something with Papa, and leave again at night and drive all night, get back, go to work, and so forth. And even when I finished college, Papa gave me the whoopie. And I drove it about 300 miles to Bonham, where I went to work. So, 1930, and went home, and I had a job, good hot job, paid a lot of money. I got $12 half a week.
How much did you get?
$12.50
No, wait, what were you paying? $12.50 a week?
Yeah, and that's for 60 hours.
Where were you working then?
Bonham, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
in a textile mill. And started off with putting in the slasher room, and
Now wait, you were a textile engineer.
yeah, I was a college graduate. But I worked all the way through the next 2 or 3 years. I worked everything was the mill. I did everything. And I guess I'd been there 4 years or something. I was overseer of the card room, and I was making $36 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get paid for overtime.
Now this would be what, 3 years
It
after?
must be about 29, 20,
No, wait, you
30,
graduated in 30.
31, 32, 33, somewhere
Okay.
down there.
When did you start selling the hose?
On real estate?
No, hose. Ladies' stocking.
Oh, I did that while I was working the mill. I was working the weekend. I was trying to make a few extra bucks, and I sold real silk. And I had a bag, and I went down and called on all the girlfriends I knew, and anybody else that I knew, and believe it or not, I was picking up $18, $15, $18 maybe on a weekend. That's more than I made all week. And I was paying $5 a week to eat, $5 a week to stay, and
Now, you were living with the Burrows, weren't you?
little Burrs, and Burrs, I stayed at their house for about, I don't know how long. But it's hot upstairs, and the fan in the window. One night, all hell broke loose. I heard that fan bum 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 going down the side of the house. It's still running. And Helen jumped up and said, "John, you hurt?" I said, "No, no, no." And she and Herbert came up there, and the fan is the end of the cord.
Yeah.
Falling out the window. It was hanging way down there, and I had to pull it all back in. It's still running. And
Where did you, when you were down there was a group of you that used to play cards.
Oh yeah, that's later. Later. That's after I was making $15 a week. Anyway, Van Case, Mandel McMahon, Brad Nunley, Joe West, myself. We had always scraped up a bridge game for the weekend, Saturday afternoon, if I wasn't working. And maybe Sunday or Saturday night, we'd play bridge like hell. And we're all pretty good bridge players. And some funny things happened. Well, they called me the wild bidder. I opened the bidding one day with, I had a single ace of clubs. Single. And I opened with 2 clubs. And old Randall Mac was my partner. He's sitting there with 12 clubs. So, when I said 2 clubs, he said 5 clubs. And although he said 6 clubs, and he says, "You son of a bitch, I'll teach you to quit bidding on a single ace." I bid 7, made 7. But I only had 1 club in my hand. He had all the clubs. It was some of the funny bidding we did. So, we played bridge a number of years. And, my daddy, every month.
Where'd you learn to play bridge?
Huh?
Where'd you learn to play bridge?
Oh, I don't know, like school. Ray played bridge there, and I never read a book on bridge.
What about that? I want to ask, tell me about when you met Lucille. Where'd you meet Lucille?
Where'd I meet her?
Mm-hmm.
Bonham?
Yeah.
I don't know where. I had some dates with her. We had a group that were about the same bunch of people. Brad, Toodles, I can name 6, 8, 10 people.
Yeah.
In the ballpark, same age group, and they went parties, this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I met her, one of them, I don't know which one, and we started going together.
Mm-hmm.
And so she had been going with kid that went to
Linwood Massey.
Massey, Carlisle. She'd been going with him. And I put my foot down after a few dates over that. This is it, no more of him. I cut him out right off. That was in the ballpark, yeah.
Oh, she was going out with someone else at the time.
Oh, yeah. She was in love with, but I don't know how much they had with him. But, I cut him off right short when they were, we had a few dates, and that's the end of it.
Well, how long did you go with her before you all got married?
Oh, I don't know. Long time.
In those days, it must have been too long now.
I was trying to save up $100.
They didn't believe in that.
Okay.
Buy a ring.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a ring cost.
$100.
$100. I saved that and went down to the jewelry store and And she and I picked it out. I didn't pick it out by myself. And she never fussed about what it cost. Because I told him I'd have about $100. And he said, well, says you can, a little more than that, you can pay it out down the line or something. And I was still on the table. I said, I gotta pay for some other stuff. You know, it wasn't. I thought it was a pretty good ring myself. I never had $100 many times. And my daddy would give me money, God, all the time. About a month passed, and Daddy didn't send me some money from home. And if I went home and visit, well, he crammed some in my pocket. And I said, I don't need it. I said, it's all right, don't spend it, just use it when you need it. Give me $75, $100 every time. I never went home without some money. And
That's where you get it.
he sent me money. I didn't have money to buy gasoline, you know, I had to hoop it. And
I've heard a lot of tales about that.
I was, by this time I was an overseer, and so this happened before all the other stuff piled in. He was leaving the bond plant went strike and so on and so on.
Well, okay, so you all got married. She was,
You know where the corner house is, where Lucille's house, corner house down here.
1 block down.
It's 2-story.
On Chestnut Street.
Who owned it? Robin Rogers? I don't know who owned it. Anyway, I rented the up second floor.
Yeah, that was on 6th and Chestnut.
Yeah, that's about right. So that day you could buy $5 and buy all the groceries carried to the store. Well, back up a little bit. See, when I was at the bottom, number one, they had a strike. Herbert was gone. Herbert was a superintendent. Herbert was over in Georgia, Alabama, somewhere over there. So I called him on the phone. And I said, Big Brother, you got all your employees are out here in the street, and you're not going to work? He said, well, I said, I'll be home tomorrow next day. I went out and told the employees, I said, he's not here. Nobody can do anything until he comes back. Go home. I had already shut the mill down. Initially, I didn't tell anybody to quit. As they were going to strike, they'd shut off here and they'd shut up over there, and to balance the production, I couldn't keep running this down here with nothing running up here. So after about 2 days of that, I shut our boat.
Now this is in Brenham? Where is this?
Bonham.
This is in Bonham.
Yeah.
So this is when? This is
Bonham. This is 1930, about 30,
Okay.
34 in there, so, no, 30, probably 35 or 36. Herbert came back, and he wasn't going to give them nothing. He was going to let them starve them out. And he found they wouldn't even come back to work anyway. And the mill's going to be shut down if they didn't do something about it. So finally, he agreed to certain things, and they all came back to work again. Now, during the time this strike goes on, we, the overseers, were working, overhauling machinery, spinning frames and weavers and this, that, and the other. We worked for 30 days. We worked just like ordinary dogs, cleaning frames and scrubbing them, this, that, and the other, just labor. Now, at the end of a month, Herbert came out and said, I can't keep you all on any longer. Then I can come to work, so I got to shut the mill down, which took us off the payroll. I go to the phone and call up Benny Frank, who was the county agent over in Sherman. I said,
Now Benny Frank is
Mama's
your uncle.
brother.
Yeah, he's your.
Yeah, he was county agent.
He's your uncle. He's
That's right.
Flora's youngest brother.
Mm-hmm.
The youngest of 11. Okay.
I said, you shut the mill down, I'm out of a job. What do you got I can do? Come over here. Come over here Monday morning, I'll put you to work. I didn't know what I was going to do. I got over there, and at that time, the farmers were signing up for so many acres of peanuts and so many acres of cotton and this, that, and the other. And he got to go out and measure all the land. So myself and another guy went out and we took plots where they thought they should measure. And I measured peanuts and peanuts and peanuts for quite a while where people, and if they got too much land, I tell them you got to plow half an acre or you got to plow an acre, peanuts. I told him myself. And I just asked him, where do you want to plow? Over here, over there, or where? I need this much cut off. So he said, you going to tell Mr. Gray? I said, yeah, I'm going to tell him. What do you think I'm working for? So then he just called him up. I want to have that plowed up within a week or within so many days. And I got to go back in and see it plowed up on another trip, you know. So I'm going all over the county.
This is over in Sherman?
Yeah.
Yeah, Grayson County.
Yeah. So I did that for maybe a month and a half. So in the meantime, I'd been told to come down to New Braunfels, be interviewed for a job down there.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, they were asking for reserve to come back on duty, active duty. And I told them I would come back to active duty. On the way down to there, I went by New Braunfels, and they hired me at $50 a week. I never made that much more than much in my life before. $50 a week to work the mill. And I'm going to be superintendent of the night shift.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not knowing how soon I'm going to active duty, I went to work over there.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say working night duty, that is 6. I'll go to work Sunday night at midnight. And I work Monday night and then every night of Wednesday. And Saturday night, I got off.
But how long? You went
I'm
on
working
midnight. What time did you get off?
Midnight till 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Actually meant I had to go to work about 10 o'clock or maybe 11
Yeah.
ahead of time. But I stayed there till 8 or 8:30 the next morning. And that was 6 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're making what? $50 or what?
$50 a week.
A week.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're making about $40 a week up in Bonham.
No, maybe about 35, 36.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think how long I was there. New Braunfels, I was there.
I know you were there long enough for me to get born.
I was there about it. May seem to me a year and a half or something.
Yep.
And then when I went,
This was just a temporary job.
yeah, but I was hired permanently.
Yeah, I know. And you ended up staying there a
And
year and a
old-
half.
The guy that owned the mill says, John, if you go on the war, said, don't worry, your job will be here. Don't you worry about it.
Now well, I was born in 36. Okay,
Yeah.
so it has to have been.
This had to be in probably
So.
37, 38, somewhere along there.
Well, did you go from there to Brenham, or did you go? Where was Post?
All this happened, but let me think back then. I was Brenham just before it was called active duty.
Oh, were you?
That was the last place.
Now, where were you at Post?
I went to Post. I went from New Braunfels to Post to be superintendent mill.
Okay.
I was doing assistant superintendent here. I go out there to be superintendent of Post Texas.
Yeah.
Made garters, sheets, and pillowcases. And then after I'd been there about, I had it running. When I got out there, I had about 40% production.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to run. Now the machinery was in bad shape, everything was terrible. I was there about 8, 10 months, maybe a year. And I had overhauled all the looms. I had none, but I had a team going to fix and scrape the spinning machines, everything else. I was running 94% production.
Mm-hmm.
And I had trouble with the old man. He'd go in and see the mill running so good. Everything looks good. Spinners are easy. Machines are running. And next thing he thought about, went to the spinner room, told the overseer. Said, take out a tooth and twist. That's how much twist you put in the yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know this. I came through the plant there, and everything's balled up, cotton is everywhere, and there, they got the machines, a lot of them cut off, and they come complaining to me, and I said, what's going on? So the spinner, the overseer told me, said, the old man told me to take a twist. I said, God damn it, you don't take orders from him. Go put a twist back in there right now. Get this thing straightened out. And I went down to the office. And I told the old man, you told the spinning boss to take out some twist out there, didn't you? Yeah, I said, I thought they could stand it. I said, you keep your ass out of the goddamn mill. I'll run the mill. You the manager, you down here. You got anything to say, you say to me, but don't ever go out there and tell them to take out anything, a damn thing. I will do it. You and I will decide ahead of time what we're going to do. And I'm the guy running it, and I want the stuff to run, and you don't get anything done. So you just stay out.
You two didn't get along.
No, not after that. Well, the other thing, the old man had a son that was in high school, just senior high school. He wanted me to teach him how to run a mill. Well, I didn't say I wouldn't, but at the same time, his idea, of course, was to work his son would be superintendent down the line without no education, nothing else, see. So, all of a sudden, a guy comes down from Dallas. And he buys and sells cast-off supplies, various things for cotton mills, travels.
Yeah.
On his rounds, he told me, he said, hey, you know Mr. Bailey? I said, no. Mr. Bailey's looking for a superintendent to go down and start up the Brennan Mill. And he'd like to have you down there. I said, what kind of pay would he give me? Well, he didn't give me as much as you're getting here, or more. And so I said, well, find it out. I want more than getting here. I said, I got this thing running good now, no problem here. And they can get rid of me if they want to, let it go. So I went and told the old man I worked for. And if Mr. Bailey wanted to talk to me about taking over the Brennan Mill, he said, I'll go with you 100%. So with me, perfect. He said, I hope you do well with it. Well, I haven't been hired yet, but I got to go find out. So I drove to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Mr. Bailey had a need, but I knew that he owned a hell of a big place up there. So he wanted to know if I'd consider it and the usual stuff. I said, well, if I get enough money, I'll consider anything, you know. And he said, well, how much you make up there? I said, I was in your business. That's another job. How much you want to pay me? I'll give you $200 a month. I said, no, I won't move for $200 a month. That's what I'm making out there. And I told him. Well, I said, I'll make it 2 1/4. Not much more, is it? So I said, now, give me some idea what you have in mind plan. So he said, well, number one, some of the machinery's old, has to be replaced. And he really didn't know everything's wrong. I didn't know till I got down there. I finally decided to go down there. So I went through and checked the mill at first. I found 400-watt power lines that were laying across water tank in the basement. nothing more pitiful than this. Who did it? I don't know what. So I said, well, the first thing is an electrician. And I got to have a, he said, I'm a good electrician. Well, it happened that one of Gilbert's schoolmates that went to TCU was probably as good an electrician you ever run in your life. He was in Bonham. And I knew him. And he always went around with pants just hanging on his ass, below the crack of his butt. Shirt tail was hanging out, and he's just a filthy, dirty-looking thing with pockets and everything full of tools and so forth. The way he went around all the time. So,
But he knew electrical.
he knew it. Well, the end product was he was hired, not by me, but Mr. Bailey to come down and do the electrical work. So he came down there, and he and I got together, and we went through the mill, and he decided what we had to have. Among it was a lot of conduit. We had to put a lot of conduit up. We had to cut wires here, and change this, and boxes, and so on. And we went to work doing it. Now, he worked down there, I'm going to say he was there 5 or 6 months. He and I were working 7 days a week, day and night, and many times I'd get home till 11, 12, 1 o'clock. Then we'd stop for supper. We'd eat a dinner or supper, one or the other, and we completely rewired the mill. I learned to bend conduit around the corners, up to here, there, and yonder, as good as anybody.
Well, you got it running.
Well, we didn't get running. Then we'd put spinning. We had put some winders in. We had and I found that then the spinning frames are made for 15/16 cotton, not shorter. If you got any wider, it cut it off because it's stretched more than you stand. So nothing, you couldn't put a cotton shorter than 15/16. So they hired, when they got it down to where it was about ready to get it going, they hired Basil. Gibson. He come down to be, he's going to be the manager, and I was going to the mill, and he's going to do the manager part.
Yeah.
Manager includes buying the cotton, selling the goods. Okay? Well, I told Basil about that 15/16 cotton, don't bring a bunch of crap. But Basil trying to save some on the cotton. What did he do? Buy some 1/2 and 1/2, 5/8 and so forth. Run it in there. And I refused to run it. I run some of it and got it all, but you make more waste when you do cloth.
Yeah.
So basically I couldn't get it settled. He basically didn't know that, he couldn't understand why I couldn't run shorter cotton. I took him out and tried to show him how far you set the rolls. You can't put them in closer. If they're made this way, that's as close as they can get. If you want it closer, you got to get some new ones. They would take shorter cotton. Well, I get on the phone and call Mr. Bailey up in Dallas. And I said, now I'd already had the mill running, but it wasn't good because crop cotton coming there. So I called Mr. Bailey in Dallas. I said, Mr. Bailey, Basil was trying to buy some 5/8 and 1/2 and 1/2 cotton. This mill will not run 5/8 cotton. And it's too short. He said, well, you can run some of it. I said, all you're doing is making more waste. You want good cloth, and you want a bunch of waste products. That's what you're going to get. And I could make them work one bale in, they were out of over 10 or something, but not more than that. He said, I better come down there. So he came down there. I took him out and where else where the cotton was. I pulled some samples, showed him how long the cotton was. I said, I can't run it. The mill will not produce it. So he said, John, what happened to have a war? I said, I don't know. What do you mean? He said, aren't you a reserve officer? Wouldn't they call you in? And I said, I probably would. He said, you know, I couldn't hold your job for you if you was going to war. I said, Mr. Bailey, if I go fight your fucking war, and you can't hold this pussy-ass job for me, you can take it and stuff it up your ass right now. He said, I don't mean that. I said, I mean it. Mr. Bailey, I'll be here 30 days from now. You have somebody down around because I am leaving. And I left. 30 days. I stayed 30 days and left. Now, all I had to do to go and act to you is call them, tell them that I can go.
Yeah.
I left Brenham then and went to San Antonio. I probably carried back home and left you there and Joe there, Lucille there till we got straightened out or something, but anyway, I went like duty. You know,
Well,
not once, but many times after that, Mr. Bailey told Mrs. Hackley, Miss Thompson, who was over and bought hats and everything else from over there, told him to man down, said, tell John I'd like to talk to him. He didn't even know I was like to do to him. He wanted me to come in, he wanted me to come back. And I told her, I said, I'll never work for so much again. She didn't. And Nanny always says, well, what she's thinking about was getting me close to her and where she could see you and Lucille.
did Mr. Bailey own the Bonham Mill too?
Yeah, he owns that too.
Okay.
And so, anyway, I went back to do
Well, tell me about why you stayed with your reserve commission. You kept your reserve up for about 8 years or so.
Yeah, I took correspondence courses
Did you?
that I was supposed to take certain years,
Mhm.
lieutenant to first lieutenant to captain. And wasn't promoted to captain, but I was due to one on one active duty, and I stayed 1 year. And Ike, President Eisenhower, then chief staff of Corps,
Corps of what?
an Army Corps.
But that was in 56.
We were, see, at the time we were in San Antonio, and
John, it was not Ike. Ike was in 56.
honey, it was Eisenhower was chief of staff in the Army
Oh, I see.
at the Corps headquarters,
Okay.
This would
of
be about,
which the division, our division, was stationed in Fort Sam Houston.
so this would be about what, 39? When did you go on active
41.
duty? When did-
1940.
That's when you got called back on active duty.
That's about right, 40.
Now, what were you?
After I'd been on active duty about a year in San Antonio. And I was recommended the captain, all the regulations, everything was right. And the division sent to Corps, and Corps sent it in. By the time it got up there, they changed the regulation, and it sent it back again. Got it changed a little bit. So it went in 3 times, the same thing. Every time it comes back, new regulation on it. So I was just teed off, of course I wasn't getting promoted. So I didn't go to division, I went to Corps, and went in Ike's office. And at that time I was a reserve officer. Different status to regular officers. And I told Ike that, I says, 3 times my recommendation been in to get promoted. It's proved by the division all the way. And he said, it's beyond me to know how somebody up there can't run this thing through with all this malarkey, send it back down again. And I said, I am just so pissed off, I don't care whether come or go. And Ike was very sincere. He said, I don't blame you. Let me see what I can do. Well, about 8 days later, I'm a captain. He got on the phone, called up somebody up there, and the next thing I know, I got my orders promoted to captain. And I went and thanked him.
Where was he then? Was all this in Fort Sam?
San Antonio, yeah.
Was he down there then?
He was there then. He was the chief staff of the Corps.
Okay.
And I think he was probably then either light colonel or full colonel, one or the other. And I didn't see the general Corps commander. I never did see him, but I don't know who he was then. But anyway, I got my promotion, and I thanked him. So I'm a battery commander. I got a battery field artillery.